YouTube world, it's Eden. I just wanted to come out and do this Inner Beauty Friday with you guys. And this one is inspired by something that happened when I was at the park the other day. I have a 3-year-old and we go to the park often, 3-4 times a week. And there was one time we were there last week, and it's springtime here in the northern hemisphere, and so I took him to the park, and there were tons and tons of baby ducks in the pond, like for maybe 3 different families of baby ducks. And we've been watching them over the weeks as they, from newborn to where they are now, where they're still babies. They're clearly smaller than the other ducks, but they don't have that newborn quality, as much of the newborn quality to them as they did before. But basically, the week that we saw this situation that I'm about to share with you, the ducks were still pretty new. When they're born, they're yellow. They're kind of yellowish, golden, and then over like a month or 6 weeks, their feathers turn to, sort of the grayish brown that we associate them with, or you can actually start to see which ones are the males and which ones are the females, because these are mallard ducks, so the males are colored differently. So anyway, at the pond, this family of ducks walks by us, and they're trying to get back in the pond. And they're walking by the ledge of the pond where we're sitting, and the ledge is about this high, okay? Which is about as high as the ducks are. And so on their way to go by the ledge, the mom jumped up on the ledge and jumped into the pond, and then the first 3 siblings, jumped on the ledge and jumped into the pond after mom. And then the 4th baby duck jumped onto the ledge and whooped, it missed. And not only did it miss, but it fell, and it fell on its back like this, legs up in the air. And I was like, oh man. And I thought I was going to have to help it get in. Within seconds, like it wasn't even 2 seconds, it just rolled onto its feet and just ran after the other ducks and hopped onto the ledge. Kind of tried once or twice, it hopped onto the ledge. It just found because the ledge was on a slant, so it just found a shorter part of the ledge where it could jumped up and followed its siblings. And it was just phenomenal to me, because I thought, if that was a human being, that would not have happened so fast. What is it that's different in ducks than in human beings? Whereas with human beings, we would have let that situation where we couldn't get on the ledge take us out. We would have just stopped. We would have laid there with our little legs in the air, overanalyzing it to death. Not everyone is like that, but 90 to 95% of human beings are like that. So what is it that's different, And I just kind of thought about it, and I was like, wow, I think there's an Inner Beauty Friday in this duck's story. So basically, these newborn ducks haven't lived a whole lot of life. They're pretty much going on instinct, okay? So they just follow their instincts. They trust their instinct. Their instinct is to stick together. Their instinct is to stick with their mom. Their instinct is to swim in the water. They are instinctual beings, and they trust that instinct. And so this duck wanted to be with its community so badly, it just found a way. It didn't even think about, how am I going to get there? It just thought about, I'm going to get there, and I'm just going to keep trying until I find a way to get there. And I think that sometimes we don't listen to our instinct about our business. If you're just doing this because you think, oh, well, it might be an interesting way to make money, you won't make it. You should really try something else. This is an honest thing. Even though I make a living by helping people create beauty care businesses, I personally choose not to help people who don't really feel driven, who don't really feel super passionate, who are kind of, yes, maybe this might work. You have to be really interested in doing it, because if something happens, you don't want it to take you out because you're not interested enough to allow the instinct within you, that gut feeling within you that's telling you that this is what I'm meant to do, this is how I'm meant to serve and show up in the world, this is how I intend to earn a living. If that part of you isn't strong enough, you'll be taken out by any little obstacle, any little ledge. You won't even have the sense to keep going and find a shorter part of the ledge or find someone who can give you a boost up the thing. You will just, you'll stop. So that instinct, and listen to your gut voice, that thing that keeps you up at night, that vision that's pulling you forward. And the second thing is vision, right? So with vision, you have to be dialed into a vision for your own personal life that's compelling enough. Say, for example, I'll give you part of my vision. There's like 3 different things in there, but one of them is I want to be able to finance my children's higher education, whatever that looks like, whether it means going to traditional university and college, whether it means, I don't know, they want to be in Cirque du Soleil and they need an apprenticeship, whatever that means for them. I want to be able to cash flow them through that experience because I had that same experience afforded to me, and I would like to at least pass that on to my children and possibly even to my grandchildren. And you know how much it costs to go to college these days in any country, but especially in the United States and Europe, it's a lot. So I need to start now if I'm thinking about that. So there's several things like that that are compelling, that are bigger than me, that are deep reasons for wanting to create a certain kind of income flow. So those are personal reasons. Another personal reason would be just my passion for the products, my passion for the subject matter. The years I've spent in research with no one paying me, no, sort of direct reason to do it other than I was so passionate about it, right? So now I get an avenue where I can express that passion. So vision. But what you also have to understand is that there's your personal vision for your life. Then there is a greater vision. I'm a spiritual person, and so I believe that everything we do does not happen in a vacuum. Every feeling we have, or every gift we've been given, or every vision we're giving is not happening in a vacuum. It's happening in a context that's part of a bigger picture, even if we don't understand the bigger picture. And right now there really is a renaissance, not only in the natural hair movement, not only in the natural skin movement across cultures, but there's a renaissance in artisanal products being made and consumed, in booming cottage industries, in fair trade happening in different countries. And I feel dialed into that vision. It's not a vision that originated with me. It was a bigger idea that was there that I was called into, right? So there are tons of people all over the world being called into that vision. So I'm always dialed into that vision. So when I get a text or an email from a coaching client, and I got 2 of those this morning, which was so inspiring, from different people, of them doing their homework. They've made their herbal extracts, or they've sourced their oils and butters for their shea butter whip, or they have made their base block, whatever, right? Or they have their logo or their label done. And I can see, for me, it's like, it represents them overcoming their fear, right? So I'm dialed into a vision where people are overcoming their fear and their hesitation, and they're just stepping into their, greater destiny and into a bigger life for themselves. But it also represents, these are 2 new beauty businesses that are being born, that are going to be unleashed in the world, in separate parts of the world. One in New York and one in Zimbabwe. It's just like, all of that is generating something. Eventually these will become, bigger and bigger. Maybe they'll employ people because of it. Someone is benefiting from this. So understanding what that does for Black economics worldwide, as well as locally, whatever local means to you, is a really big deal. It's a big thing to feel drawn into. So look for that thing that is bigger than you, that draws you in, because that is going to pull you forward and keep you going, you know. So I share with you the glorious thing of receiving homework, but I didn't share with you before. My son was, my 3-year-old, not my 6-year-old, but my 3-year-old was sick this week. So he missed a lot of school, was home a lot. He was very, you know, whiny and needy and needed to be with mom a lot. So I was typing formulas to send to my client while he was sleeping on my lap and coughing and such. I even did a call with him on my lap, and he was pretty good for most of it, but he did cough and whine a little bit on it. I didn't sleep much this week, which is why my Shea Moisture video, I look so tired and worn out. Those are harder times, you know, when you can find excuses. Oh, this is not going to work, I'm just too busy, or, you know, blah blah, or maybe someone's unhappy with you, or you did something, you know, you made a mistake, or it's not always going to be roses, but you just keep going, because that forward momentum, you know, is part of something that's bigger than you, and that vision that's pulling you in is also going to carry you and lift you up. It's not just you giving to that vision. That vision is going to give back to you and feed your soul. And the third thing is community. I mean, those ducks wanted to be together at all costs, you know, and because there's benefit, you know, they're less likely to be taken out by a predator. You know, they're safer together. They find more food together. You know, there's so many things that are better together. As the saying goes, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So community is important. Finding community, supporting community. This morning I had the pleasure of hopping down to Aubrey's Beauty Supply. It's a new beauty supply that opened a few months ago down the street from me. I only just discovered it, but apparently they've been around for 6 months. You know, and yes, I can make products, but I wanted to support a Black-owned business. So I bought some loot. I'd like to share it on my Facebook and say, hey, look, there's a Black-owned beauty supply down the street. Black people of Phoenix, you know. Go support them. They're really awesome. They have a little salon in the back too if you want to get your hair done or whatever. So, you know, all this word of mouth, all this community, it makes us stronger. You just don't want to, like I said in my last video, don't bet against Black. You know, don't bet against it. You know, stop saying our businesses don't work, or, you know, our products are, you know, different. You stop saying all that. You know, bet for it. Bet that it's going to work because it's Black-owned. Bet because it's going to work because Black people are going to come out and support it. So that community, that kind of, and make that community part instinctual, because it's natural to us to want to support each other. The crabs in the bucket is not a natural phenomenon, despite however it's phrased by society. Okay, so there was a lot to learn from those baby ducks that day. I just thought I would come and share that as Inner Beauty Friday, which is late, you know. My son was sick, so Friday did not happen. So it's Inner Beauty Saturday. But the information is still valid. All right? So please enjoy your day or evening, wherever you are, wherever you're watching in the world. Stay inspired, keep feeding your soul, keep feeding your mind, because at the end of the day, that's going to be even way more important than any logistical stuff I can share. Most people don't even act on the free information I give them. You know, that's the truth. And what is the reason behind that? You know, well, sometimes it's just not for them. They decide that this whole thing is not for them. But a lot of times it's because, you know, they don't take care of the mental stuff and the heart stuff. You know, you got to take care of that in order to move forward. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.